Hello there, and welcome back to the Nestling Wood Schoolhouse. I'm Audi, and I'm so glad that you could join us today. We are going to be starting a mini-series where we talk about the myths around homeschooling and how we're actually going to be busting a lot of those myths that are out there. This is going to be episode 1 of the mini-series, and I'm super excited for you to be joining us along on this journey. Now, if you've ever worried about how your child might be developing socially with homeschooling, then this is the episode for you, because the first myth we're going to bust is homeschool kids are not socialized. But in reality, they certainly are. Now we're going to break this video down into 7 parts so you can be able to go and flip through all the different sections that might be applicable to you at any given time. Without further ado, let's get to it. When people think about socialization, they're usually worried about their kids being able to find friends and be able to interact with one another and to develop conflict resolution strategies. Now, I don't know about you, but putting 30 kids in a room of the same age who are still learning their social skills might not be the best way to socialize somebody. Now, to know if somebody is socialized, here are some really good pointers. First, you want to make sure that there are indicators that them to understand and follow certain social norms, values, and behaviors considered appropriate within their society. These things could include respecting personal space, engaging in polite conversation, following social cues, adapting to different social situations, and demonstrating awareness of cultural expectations. Essentially, you want to make sure that they can comfortably interact with different parts of society and with different people on a day-to-day basis. So why don't we break down where homeschoolers tend to get their socialization from? First, there are homeschool groups and co-ops. So this is usually where a group of homeschoolers will get together, of varying ages, mind you, to go on field trips, take classes together, or learn together from one another, or just learning alongside each other, just whatever works best for that particular homeschool group. Another are extracurricular activities. So there are a lot of different organizations out there now that really cater to homeschoolers, and they will tend to have homeschooling groups available during regular school hours, so that way homeschoolers can have a private dedicated time to homeschooling. Now, this isn't the case in every community, but certainly there are still community extracurriculars that a lot of kids have the opportunity to be involved with. I know with Eloise, she does ice skating, and she also is involved with our church, and she takes singing lessons, and she used to take dance lessons and gymnastics as well. There are a lot of different opportunities within the community in order to be involved with extracurriculars. Another idea is also going to be like hobby groups and nature groups. So with our homeschool group, we also tie it in with nature group, but there are some homeschool groups that are very niche and specific, where their only thing they do is get outside in nature. Usually it's about once a week where they're just out in the woods playing, hanging out, trying to get their outside time in. So that's more of a nature group. But then there's also hobby groups where you could have like Lego Club, where they practice Star Wars, LARPing, they're really into trains, just those different hobby interest groups. So whatever your child is interested in, being able to interact with other people who also have those similar interests. You just gotta look at what is available within your community and how far of a drive that might be for you. Because sometimes there are certain things that your child might not be interested in, but it is still gonna be a bit of a drive. And then, of course, there's everyday real-world interactions, right? So that's interacting with the cashier at the grocery store, the people at movie theaters, parks, libraries, other shopping centers, police officers, firefighters, just living the day-to-day life and having those different social interactions. I know something my mom did when we were kids is when we ordered a pizza to be delivered, we had to start making those phone calls around the time we were like 6 and 7 years old, and be able to start interacting with people and learning how to talk on the phone and those other kind of social expectations. So homeschoolers don't just get by socially. They actually often thrive in different situations. And this can be broken down into 3 different components. First is that they have a lot of diverse interactions more readily available to them. I know that my child, when she was in a traditional school, she didn't have as much exposure to different religious beliefs or different value systems. Everyone is pretty much the same socioeconomic status and belief systems. Now that we're homeschooling though, she has a broader range of different socioeconomic statuses, different beliefs and value systems that she can interact with more on a daily basis rather than just like the children interacting with one another. Also seeing their parents and how their family dynamics work. And then of course being exposed to a variety of other religious beliefs and cultural norms than she would have had in a traditional school setting. Second is quality over quantity. Right? So we want our kids to have quality conversations and quality experiences with different kids. It's not always the greatest thing that they get to be having all sorts of different experiences all the time. Sometimes really diving deep and getting into the quality conversations and being able to connect with somebody on a deeper level rather than just that surface level conversation can really help develop social cues and social norms far more than you could if you were just doing surface level, small chit chat, how's the weather kind of conversations. And finally, they have freedom to be themselves. This for me is one of the biggest components for a plethora of reasons. Eloise had a really hard time when she was in a traditional school setting to be able to act like herself and express the way that she wanted to. So she's very much an imaginative child. She believes in fairies and unicorns and rainbows and all those kind of frilly, fun, fantastical things. And she got teased a lot for it when she was in a traditional school setting. And a lot of the homeschool kids are very accepting of her and her imagination and how her mind wanders, and they want to be a part of it too. They think that it's really fun and unique, and that's something that I value so much with homeschooling, is that so many kids are now able to be genuinely and uniquely and authentically themselves. The big part is the isolation, right? So many people think that homeschoolers are severely isolated, and that is something that I just cannot even begin to understand why I thought that before. Just seeing how many ways homeschoolers are getting out there and being a part of their community and within society and interacting with one another and having so many friends and so many opportunities. And it kind of blows my mind, honestly. So for us, we were already pretty confident we were going to be pulling Eloise out of school. We felt that she would do better academically, which she did. She'd do better socially, which again, she did. And the one thing that was holding us back was I wanted to make sure that she would still have friends. She didn't have very many friends at school, but the friends that she did have were genuinely amazing. And we actually still keep in contact with them too, because they were such good kids. But most of the kids at school weren't great, and I wanted her to be able to have more than that. So we tried out a couple homeschool groups just to figure out what would work, and we found one that really meshed with us very, very well. And I was so happy and I felt so at peace to be able to pull Eloise out of school at that point, because there were so many different opportunities within this homeschool group to be able to go out and have experiences and excursions and field trips and nature groups and play dates. There were so many more options than there could have been otherwise. Believe it or not, there's actually been a lot, and I mean a lot, of research done on homeschoolers and how they interact with society, how they develop socially, academically. I actually have a slew of different resources and research studies that have been done that I will include in the description box below for you to be able to browse and go through at your own time and your own leisure, to be able to see the amount of academic research that has been done on homeschoolers to see how they develop socially. And if you have any questions about any of those, or if any of the links don't work, please do let me know. I will, again, though, be posting that in the description box below. So we've already touched on this a bit, but just to dive a little bit deeper on some things that you could do to make sure that your children thrive socially with homeschooling is, first and foremost, join local groups. Find a homeschool group that you mesh with, that aligns with your family's value systems, that you feel comfortable with, that you connect with, that your children connect with, and really put effort forth to develop and build up those relationships. Another is, of course, extracurricular activities and making sure that your children feel connected and safe, and that they are exploring their interests and passions and developing themselves in a way that you are proud of and that they are proud of and comfortable and confident with as well. Of course, there's also community involvement. So there's plenty of volunteering opportunities in communities all across the world, and being able to be a part of serving others can really help bring kids together and families together and help everyone thrive and recognize different social elements that aren't always prevalent in other situations, where we're really trying to put other people's interests and needs before our own, and being able to see the world as more of a whole rather than us being the center of that world. And finally, of course, modeling social skills. So let your kids see you interacting with other people. Let them see you have disagreements with other adults and how you navigate through those disagreements. Let them see you talking with others, serving others, supporting others, communicating with people on a day-to-day, how you communicate with employees at the store, how you communicate with policemen and firefighters and librarians and strangers that you come across in life, how waiters, waitresses, anything, just a normal daily routine and daily interactions that you might come across. Model the behavior that you want your children to see, and you'd be surprised how much they genuinely pick up from just modeling your own behavior. Thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. I really appreciate the effort that you've put in to be able to understand this homeschooling myth and how we're busting the social norms. Again, make sure you reach out to us in the comments below and let us know your thoughts, perspective, opinions. And of course, in the description box is a link to all those different research articles that truly support and understand the socialization aspect of homeschoolers. And of course, I want to make sure that you feel well equipped. Now, if someone is going to come up to you, if you're deciding on homeschooling or if you're already homeschooling, what about socialization? How are your kids going to be socialized? That this video has given you some tips and quick tricks in order to get you to feel comfortable and confident with your responses to those accusations, and making sure that you know your child best and that you are doing everything in your power to make sure that they are developing appropriately. And that also includes the social parts of it. You're doing a great job. Even just watching this video shows how much you care about your child's development. So I applaud you through and through that you are doing your very best for your children. Alrighty, y'all. If you can subscribe, comment below, follow, give us a like, share with those who you might feel could benefit from having this conversation. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, do let me know. Feel free to reach out. Until next time, happy homeschooling.